The first time I used ChatGPT, I gave it a random prompt: write a birthday wish for a friend who loves astronomy. And within seconds, it gave me suggestions so thoughtful. It felt that a person who knows my friend very well is sitting inside my laptop and giving this suggestion. I literally sat back and thought, how is it even possible? So, today, let's go behind the scene and see how ChatGPT actually works and why it sounds so human. When you type something, say, write a poem about coffee, ChatGPT doesn't really know what coffee is and what poem it should be writing. What it does is break your sentence into smaller parts. It calls tokens. These tokens are just tiny chunks of words or syllables, and then it looks for patterns it has learned from billions of examples, from books, articles, conversations, and code, everything it has seen during the training. And based on that, it predicts what should come next. So it's not thinking like a human, it's just predicting the next word in the smartest way possible. So it took your context, decided the first word, and based upon its learning, it is predicting the next word. So let's say if I say peanut butter and, then you instantly will think jelly and complete the sentence in a way: peanut butter and jelly. So that exactly how ChatGPT is working, but it is working like this at a much bigger and very complex scale. So it feels like human, while if you see it closely, it's not human like. Humans can create, can innovate, and can think differently, right? Even some things which we have not learned. But ChatGPT is learning from the patterns it has seen during the training. We'll come to that in the next section, how that learning takes place. But this is the crux of how ChatGPT is taking the instruction from you and processing those instructions. So now let's talk about the brain behind it. Chat GPT is built on something called large language model, which basically is a massive neural network with hundreds of billions of connections. And it is trained upon massive amount of text data and now even image data. And during training, it doesn't memorize everything word to word. Instead, it learns the relationship between the words, tone, and context. So, what it does is it is not kind of keeping all the text in its memory and kind of searching when you ask it to do something, right? Like Google does. So, what Google does is Google stores those links in its memory, and when you search for something, it search through its memory and brings out those specific links there. So it is just a lookup table basically, right? Lookup table based on certain keywords. But ChatGPT is not working on that way. It is not working on a lookup table sort of pattern. So if you take an example, like if you ask it, write an email to my boss about taking a day off. So what it is doing, it's not pulling some ready-made template. It's not that there is some ready-made template given to it while the training phase, and it will just pull out that template and give it to you. It will not do that. What it will do is it will figure out your intent, your tone, and what sounds appropriate in this specific scenario, right? And then give you a output which will feel very natural, almost human like, because it has learned from the data it is given to learn that how people express ideas. So it has not memorized the text. It has learned to understand the intent and the connections between those words. And now when you ask it something, it uses that understanding and connects the words, makes the sentence, and connects the sentences, creates a paragraph. And this computation is happening at a very large scale and a very high speed. So we doesn't get an idea like what's happening in the background, but there is a lot happening. So now you might be wondering, if it is just trained upon a huge amount of data, then how it sounds like so human and how it understands human intent, right? How does it know that if I have asked for a caring email, then it is writing it in words which are actually caring. If I asked it to write in a formal tone, then it knows what a formal tone is. So it cannot happen just by the training upon the data. It should learn the human interaction, the human way of thinking. So this is where the reinforced learning kicks in, which is the secret sauce behind the chat GPT, the human feedback. So after it is being trained upon this massive amount of data, the humans stepped in. So there are humans who chatted with this chat GPT and then rated its answers and gave this feedback to it, that what sounded better, what was more helpful, what was more polite, and make it understand that how humans think, which type of output human will take as formal, which type of output human will take as casual, what will look more caring. So based upon this feedback, ChatGPT adjusted its response, and now it knows like what is actually human like. And this process is called reinforced learning from human feedback, or RLHF we call it in technical terms. And this is the thing which taught ChatGPT not just to talk, but to talk more like humans, and like humans who actually cares. I would say it's like having thousands of teachers showing the ChatGPT what a good conversation looks like. Now, the next time you type something into ChatGPT, remember this: it's not reading your mind, it's just reading the patterns. And somehow it turns those patterns into stories, ideas, poetry, and code. And that's what it feels like, so magical. Even now, every time I use it, I'm still amazed by how it turns those simple words or simple prompt I give it into words, into sentences, into a paragraph, or even a whole document, and which looks so meaningful. And honestly, what we have talked in this video about ChatGPT is just the beginning and just the very basic of how it works in the background. In the upcoming videos, I will share more secrets of ChatGPT and also will show you how you can make it your everyday superpower, whether you're a student or a working professional or someone just curious about AI. And if you find this video useful and helpful, then hit that like button and subscribe the channel and stay tuned. Also share it with someone you feel can make use of this information.